stops, no one knows. We're going head into the unknown. Na, 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 na.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back to Criminality, or if this is your first time here, welcome to Criminality. So I apologize for the delay. Today has been just crazy busy. And Sleuthy is also running a little bit late. So I figured as soon as I could hop on, I would hop on, hang out with you guys for a little bit, say hi to everybody in chat as we wait for Sleuthy to be able to join us. As you guys know, we are discussing the case of the state of Indiana versus Richard Allen. About a week ago, we got a document dump of about 1,200 pages, and we have been reading through the depositions. So there's not a lot of history on Delphi in these lives, but you know, we do make some commentary. We do make some commentary throughout the depositions. Tonight we're going to be covering the deposition of Trooper X, who is essentially a undercover guy, but also practices Odinism. So it'll be kind of interesting to see his take on everything. I have not read it yet, so it'll be fresh for me. Like I said, I skimmed through all the depositions just to see if there's any important information that I needed to know, but I didn't want to spoil it. I wanted to read it with you guys. So I have not read it. When I read the depositions, I'm reading them for the first time with you all. So let me say hi to you guys in chat. Jody Docs, I know, right? Yeah, I know. I know classic everything, I know. So I see some of you guys have gotten your names kind of back, which is very helpful for me. I don't really know why YouTube or StreamYard or whoever the hell decided this was a good idea did this. This is ridiculous. So I don't want to work tonight. I want to chat. I'll be listening to you. That sounds good. Do that instead. Hey, Carrie Sherry. Hi, Ems. Where's pause? First ever live. I just finished watching every single. Oh shit, you did. I just finished watching every single live you did on pre-Delphi up until the verdict. You were wonderful. Well, thank you so much for that. It's probably very interesting, and I know Amanda did this, and Carrie Sherry did this. Carrie, whatever. Anyway, it's probably very interesting for you guys to watch like my progression as the case went on, like from like old school 2023 Frank's memo to where I am now. Like I was I did my best to be very, very neutral and not like, I didn't join any camps or anything. I just wanted to really listen to the information that was coming out and make my own decision on it, which is also kind of funny because like back then, like the chat had all kinds of people, like from everywhere, like from anybody who believed he was guilty, people who thought he was innocent, people who thought they had no idea. So it's very interesting to hear your guys' thoughts, like going back to what I did and what I said at the beginning. Well, it's not really the beginning. So I covered this case when I was on another channel. I was a co-host on another channel, and we covered this case together. That's like a lot of lives, I know. We covered this case together, and then when I started this channel, I actually did like a 2-part episode that I don't even know if it's in the playlist, actually. I did a 2-part episode just kind of covering the basics of Delphi as I knew it at that point, you know, like we kind of just like discussion. And then I left Delphi. I wasn't covering Delphi anymore, and I was covering the Idaho 4 case. And Idaho 4, the defense attorneys were fighting to keep the cameras out of the courtroom. And then I got a motion, because I was like, I would still read all the motions for Delphi. And I got a motion from the defense attorneys in Delphi that were fighting to have the cameras in. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. Like, that's not normal. Normally the defense attorneys are definitely the ones who want it out. Sometimes prosecutors too. So I was like, let me go take a look at what's going on in Delphi. And then, so I did a live on Idaho 4 and Delphi, and just like the compare and contrast of attorneys. And then all of a sudden the Franks memo dropped in September of 2023. And I was like, all right, let's read this thing. It's like freaking huge. Let's sit down and read it. I think I did it in like 6 parts. And I was just like blown away. And then here I am, sucked in, everything Delphi. I'm like, let's just read it. We essentially say, like, when we're reading these documents, like, let's just get it on the record on the channel so that I know I've read it. I know I've covered it. I know I've talked to you guys about it. So I try to keep that kind of going. Christy, I need to go way back because I'm definitely still learning about this case. You were my intro to this case and Bob during trial. Oh, wow. That's interesting. How do you feel now? Like, are you like, I should have listened to other people? Or are you like, oh, no, I'm still good. I'm still good. Hi, Ausane. Mars, like, I remember. I wonder if, like, we should read, like, a Frank's memo. Like, we should do it again, just, like, as a holy shit. Like, man, do you guys remember this? Okay, so, the shock y'all had the first night of reading the Franks. Someone on with you had to go smoke. They were so stunned. Because for you guys who didn't follow Delphi before, I mean, it's still like that. I mean, it's teeny tiny bits better, but everything has been so what I consider like gatekeeped in this case. It's like the law enforcement like fed the media and fed the public these little tiny tidbits of information, and then expected like them to not care about what the outcome was. So it was like, we're just going to tell you this, and then you guys just let us know what you think, and then we're going to get mad that you send us like 500,000 tips that don't make any sense. So the Franks was like our first real like public glimpse into some of the shit that was going on behind the scenes that we had speculated about, we had heard about, because most of the family members, for both girls, had been on social media at one point or another and discussed different versions of their day. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. So then the Franks was like, okay. So then it's like, okay, now what do you do? Now you got this Franks hearing, or you got this Franks motion. We didn't really get a hearing. You get this Franks motion, and you're like, okay, like, how are they going to respond to this? So now you're like sucked in. And the prosecutor and the law enforcement really have told the public, like, they feel the defense team did it on purpose to gain like public, like viewership, like to get the public like on their side. Like they did it intentionally. And it's like, well, fuck, like somebody at least told us something. Like, you guys didn't want to tell us anything for all these years, except for, we've got the right guy, just trust us, we know what we're doing. And yeah, hearings, not Goal's thing. She doesn't like hearings. So I was like, okay, well, we got to figure out what's the prosecutor going to do? Like, how's he going to respond to this? And then you get like the back and forth on all of it. And then you get the judge kicking off the defense attorneys. Then you get to go to the Supreme Court. And it's like, you can't ever fucking leave Delphi. Like, once you're in it, it's like, there's so much craziness that you're stuck. You're stuck there trying to figure out what the hell happened. And here we are, over a year now, a year and 10 days past Richard Allen's conviction. And I don't feel like I know any more than I did then. Like, I thought, okay, trial. All the pro Richard Allen's guilty people were like, just wait until trial, and they show you all the evidence they have against him. And it's like, okay, did that. Where was it? Never happened. And then now here we are, just getting little dribbles of info. This is why I say, even to this day, I think this case is extremely gatekeeped. I don't understand if you've got the right guy, you feel like he did it alone. You've all testified that he did it alone. Why the fuck are you gatekeeping all the info? I get, keep your crime scene photos sealed, do what you got to do. This other crap of let's redact every other page of a depo, let's redact all this info. Let's not put out the exhibits that we used at trial. Let's try to hide everything. It's just, I mean, if you don't have anything to hide, why do you constantly hide shit? Like, that has got, like, I don't know how more people don't ask that question. Like, if I don't have anything to hide, here I am, like, I'm going to tell you all the things. And they're just like, no, we're not, we're going to keep it all to ourselves. We're not going to tell you that. And it's like 10 people are requesting like exhibits through FOIA and everybody's getting a different chunk of them. It's like, come on, you have them in a file, send the fucking file. Yeah. So anyway, here we are, a year past post-conviction, or a past conviction, and still getting the little dribbles of info that we take in and I put out to you guys and read together with you guys. And it's still, nothing is more clear to me than that Jerry Holman, Tony Liggett, Steve Mullen, probably Jay Harper, even though they never actually deposed the right Jay Harper. Those guys are absolutely complicit, specifically Nick McClelland and Jerry Holman, in covering up what truly happened to those girls, or not giving enough of a fuck to find out the truth and just caring about their own asses. So they manipulated the system, manipulated the public, and I believe the families, they would disagree because they think Richard Allen's the guy. I don't think Richard Allen had anything to do with fucking anything. I think he's a scapegoat. I think he's, in the words of back in the day, I think he's a patsy. I absolutely think he's a patsy. So I don't even know if they're protecting someone individually, or they just don't care, or they were so sloppy that every decision they made later was to cover up the crappy law enforcement job of every one of those individuals so they could protect their careers. And the deal was shut your mouth, get promoted, make more money, keep your job. Because every one of those fuckers got promoted. Every single one. And if you didn't want to play ball, guess what? You were the bad guy. You were on the outs. You get a Todd Click and it's like, okay, Todd Click, let's figure out what we can find that he did wrong in anything he's ever done and try to get him in trouble for it because he is going against the grain. Yeah, all of the above. Yeah, it's true. Just like in Canton. It's just like in Canton. Then, and I know a lot of people who watch like the Karen Reed case, like really hated Judge Bev. And I wasn't a huge fan, but I still feel like she did a better job than Gull. I mean, Gull was just, it didn't matter. Gull fucking hated every one of those defense attorneys and was going to show it. Yeah. Wait until trial. And they said the same thing about Sarah Boone. And look at that. They showed a video of her mocking her boyfriend being trapped in the duffel bag and her confession. That's it. Yes, we can. Give me 1 second. So speaking of Karen Reed first, I mentioned this yesterday that, there was a civil suit that's been filed from Karen Reed against the dumb fucks of Canton. And I'm gonna probably just do like a pre-record. Like I said, today ended up just totally getting away from me. I was just way too busy. And so I just was going to just do a pre-record and put it out. But there was a hearing I heard today, and I'm trying to figure out what that was. I haven't watched anything, you guys. Like, I haven't been around to watch anything today. So if that's the questions on the other case too. Can you guys tell me the hearing today? Hi, Trooper X. The hearing today for Karen Reed, was that the civil case against Karen Reed from Paul O'Keefe? Or was that her first hearing for her civil case against them?
Think it was their case.
It's Karen's case against them, or it's Paul's case against the bar and Karen and...
Yeah, I think it was Paul's case.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay. No, that chat's agreeing with you. Okay.
Okay.
That's what I assumed, because I was like, that's really quick for her to already get a fucking hearing. But then I was like, I don't know. Maybe.
No, I think it's way too early because they move at like a snail's pace.
Okay, so I did see that it got continued to like December 19th, I want to say, or 9th or something along those lines. So I'm going to go back and watch that. Okay, so that's Karen Reed update. Zach Adams. So not everybody knows about that case, but Zach Adams is actually having the continuation of his post-conviction relief hearings as he was convicted of killing Holly Bobo. I have been watching them. I really wish I had taken my schedule and put that in to actually do it. I just wasn't paying attention to when it was, and now my schedule's kind of funky where I can't like air it on the channel. But if it's something that you guys are interested in, we can always go back, watch the initial trial where he was convicted. Our friend Indiana Girl has a in-depth amount of notes on it, but it's a good trial. I mean, it's a good trial anyway. And then it's post-conviction. We did that with Todd Mullis. We watched the entire trial and then we watched the entire post-conviction. And we're still waiting on Todd Mullis, the ruling from the judge, and they essentially have however long they want to take. So if you guys are interested in that, obviously I would only want to do it if you guys done it. I've watched the trial. I'm trying to keep up in my downtime of watching the hearings now. Yesterday, I have not watched anything today. His defense attorney testified today. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not caught up. So don't give me any spoilers. I'll do my best to try to watch that tonight or over the weekend. But if you guys are interested in doing that, we can do that. You guys just have to like hit me up and tell me that that's what you want to do, and I will plan accordingly. So that's, like I said, that's up to you guys. I have True Crime with Eve is going to join us. We have to make our schedule. She's going to join us to talk about the Michael Vaughn case. If you guys aren't familiar with that case, I have a video on that case where it goes through the entire background of it. Actually, I think I have like 2 or 3, and from when they started doing the search again too in the backyard. So there is some back info on that too, if you guys want to take a look at that before Eve comes on. But I'll put that like on the community wall or something so you guys can take a look at it before we schedule her to come on and talk Michael Vaughn's case. Because I want you guys to have the background, but I don't want to do all that necessarily with Eve on. I kind of want to talk about the new arrests. Well, the re-arrests, or however you want to call it. What else is there, Sleuthy? Oh, Karen Reed, we got to go back to that. You told me sidebars are out.
Yeah, I haven't seen them though. Like, I mean, I've seen somebody take like screenshots of them and put up like one page, but I haven't seen anybody post a PDF. So if anybody knows who has done that.
Okay, so it's out, but it's not public. Like somebody
It's
has it,
supposed
and
to
then
be. I don't know where people would be getting it if it's not public.
okay.
I
I
think
definitely
it's
want
out.
to read through those. I definitely want to read through those. We may have to. There may be some context that we're going to have to like find in the trial to understand it, because I don't know I don't know how they put them out. Like, did they just say like, okay, here's transcript of every sidebar, and we don't know the context behind each of them? You know what I mean?
I think so. I don't think they have like, they're not like separated by issue. Like, I think they're just first sidebar, second sidebar, third sidebar. You know what I mean?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't remember what was going on during the trial that they called the sidebar. So
No, and there's probably a billion of them. Like, there's got to be a billion.
Because Bev loves a sidebar, because she doesn't want the world to know what's going on.
People forget like that they weren't allowed to make objections,
right,
in open court. So like literally,
and be like, can we approach?
Objection. Yes.
Judge, can we approach? So many sidebars. Okay. Is that all the things? I think that might be all the things. Really just trying to get through this Delphi document dump.
Yeah, I was going to have a voice changer, but
for Trooper X.
Yeah, I ran out of time.
That's okay. I was behind today. Sleuthy had to run a couple errands, so.
Oh, get this.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, okay, like we're gonna go get gas. Should be quick, right?
Yeah, should be.
So already halfway there, I was like, we're not gonna make it. And that's when I told you, like, we're definitely gonna be late, because we were only halfway there and it was like 5:45.
Okay, so I have to ask, like, how far is gas? Like, where do you live out like in the middle of nowhere that you have to drive like miles and miles away to get gas? Or is there like just because it's a specific gas station that you want to go to?
No, it's like 15 minutes. You're not supposed to come home without gas, so you're supposed to make sure you have gas like before you come here. So, hold on. So anyway, we get there and the pump starts and it's fine, right? So I like go to put my stuff away in my wallet and the pump turns off and I'm like, well, that's not right because we have zero gas. We're like running on fumes. So there's no way that I am full. So I go over to it and I have to like keep clicking it. It keeps stopping. And then randomly it would like squirt gas everywhere. And I'm like, this is bullshit because I know it's not full.
Okay.
Finally, somebody decided to come over and help me. And he's like, I don't know why it's doing this. So anyway, I usually pump my gas in a minute. It took probably 10 because it literally kept stopping. We had to keep pulling the trigger, pulling the trigger, pulling the trigger, pulling the trigger. And then he finally got it to work. And I thought, okay, dude, like it's obviously your gas pump. Are you gonna put like a sign on it that says, don't waste your time at this pump, especially if you have somewhere to be? He's like, I'm just gonna wait till the next person pulls up and I'm gonna see if it happens to them too. Then I'll report it. I was like, oh, so like, did somebody have problems before me and you sat here and watched me struggle? Is that what we're doing? Like, does it have to be like 5 customers like before you put a sign up?
Yeah. There's a limit. It's like, okay, now those guys are all idiots. Let's see if this one looks smarter and maybe they can get it to work.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so glad that you came over here and like also had the same problem because I just figured as soon as you came over and tried to do it that it was going to be fine. And it was not. And then he's like looking in my gas, the hole to the gas tank, and he's like, I can't tell if that's gas or metal. And I'm like,
What?
he's like, I think it's just metal. And I'm like, you can't tell if it's gas or metal. What?
What the fuck are you looking at?
Mm-hmm. He's like, keep an eye on the.
He totally checked out Sleuthy's gas hole. Yeah, he did. He was like, let me see what's in your gas hole.
I was really about to like if he didn't come over when he did, I was like, I don't have the time or patience. Like, I'm exhausted. I still have a ton of shit to do, and I got to pack up my car because like we're leaving early in the morning to go meet my mom. And like, I was like, I just don't have it in me to do this. I was just gonna leave and then go to another gas station and see if I can get gas there.
That sucks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
A simple task turns into like an hour of your life.
Yes, and I was like, literally, this is only happening because I have somewhere to be. If I had nothing to do, it would have went smoothly.
That's true. All right, let me pull this up. Okay, so I told you guys at the beginning, we're reading over Trooper X, the depot, and as always, our lovely Sleuthy Goosey is going to be our witness, Trooper X, for today. She looks like she's like from Anonymous over there.
Why is it so small?
What, so small? You?
Yeah.
I think it's just because I look so big. Hold on. Let me take.
Oh, wait. DB said, why is Sleuthy's avatar's hands so small? So yesterday when I noticed, I think I said this. I think it has fingernail polish on. I'm thinking it might be a lady.
Put it back up. Put it back up. Put it back up. I want to see. Well, I think it's what? I think it's like a hand over hand.
It is.
Instead of you can't really. So it's just like long fingers.
It's not like those fake little hands that people put in their sleeves and they fuck around.
Yeah, maybe they're missing a finger. Okay,
Maybe
and they're
he's
just
trying to hide
cover
the
it
half.
up.
Yeah, the half finger.
The half finger. They're just trying to keep it tucked in. Keep in the tuck.
Way to bring it up.
Go ahead.
Way to bring it up, DB. Make him self-conscious.
Yeah. So Sleuthy's going to be reading as Trooper X. I have no idea how long this deposition even is. So somebody was asking, are we only doing Trooper X? I'm like, I actually have no idea because I have no idea how long it is.
It's 79 pages, but I think some of it may be.
We're talking about thumbs, M's.
So it's actually like 76 pages.
Okay. All right. So I will be your all-encompassed attorney. Everybody in the world, just in case you don't know, I am not an attorney. That's why my avatar says, trust me, I am almost a lawyer, because I am not one. I just play one on YouTube when I'm reading depositions. So I will be your all-encompassed attorney. I will do my best, as always, to let you guys know which attorney I am when I am that attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I will always be Trooper X. Well, unless like there's a random.
Sometimes you have to be like Nick McClelland. You're just like,
sometimes
that fucking Nick said something. Now I got to talk like him.
Yeah.
Kate says it doesn't matter because there's like a zillion redacted pages. Like I said, I have no idea. Oh, if that's true, Amanda. If Jerry Holman is a lieutenant, I can definitely be a lawyer. For sure. At least in Indiana.
What did he call himself? An apprentice lawyer?
Yeah, yes, he's an apprentice lawyer. Get her done, forfeit. Yeah, he's an apprentice lawyer for Nick. But he also has never made out with Nick. Oh, God, I got to upload that video to the media on here because I just want to be able to play it for people all the time.
Oh, Nick does ask questions, so you'll have to be him today, too. Sorry. All right, carry on. You're Rosie.
Carry on. Okay.
Pip, pip.
Nom, 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 nom.
Donuts, donuts, donuts.
People, if this is like anybody's ever like their first time coming to watch us, they're just like, what the fuck is wrong?
They have no idea.
What the fuck is wrong with these two women?
It's not even just us, because like the chat will be like nom nom nom, and so people are probably like, okay, this.
They're like, show the dough. Show the dough. T hates us. I don't, Ems. I love you. Okay, we are on the record. State of Indiana versus Richard Allen, blah, blah, blah. Present are myself, defense attorney Baldwin, prosecutor McClelland, and Trooper X, otherwise known as Trooper X. Is that right, Trooper X? And I am Rosie, by the way.
I was going to have an anonymous voice be like, that's correct, sir. I can't do that the whole time. I'm not going to be able to do it.
I know. I've tried to talk deep like that for an entire read-through.
Dude, the question mark guy from yesterday, that was one of my faves.
My voice for him?
Yes, the very monotone, like no inflection whatsoever. Yeah, that was a good one.
He's just like, got you. Got you.
Is it large like mine, or?
It's like the smallest I've ever seen. I've never seen one so big.
I
felt like it was in the wrong document.
That was like we propelled into another universe. I was like, is nobody picking up on this? Like when they're in this conversation, are they not like, this seems a little strange? You know?
Oh shit. Hi Carrie Brooke. Hi T and Sleuthy in chat. I'm usually lurking, but wanted to stop in and thank you for these lives. They're much appreciated. We much appreciate you being here and putting up with us. I mean, that's really just essentially what it is. And Matt says he tried to get away from following true crime, but he was too invested. He spent too much time learning the inside jokes. So now you're stuck.
Yeah. You can't miss any time.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like you come back and you're like, oh my God, there's so many inside jokes that I don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that. Okay. So Trooper X, otherwise known as Trooper X. Is that right?
I already said that's correct, sir.
Okay, Trooper X. If I could call you that.
Please do.
All right. Have you ever taken a deposition before?
I have.
And just a couple of things, just reminders, if nothing else. First and foremost, just try to answer audibly, yes, no, instead of uh-huhs and uh-uhs. That would be helpful. And if I have to redirect you, don't take that offensively, okay?
Not at all, sir.
All right. Second, there is water. You have one, and there's a restroom right behind us if you need to stop for any reason, or you have any other questions. Rosie's so like hospitable. Just feel free to speak freely, okay?
Like, if you got to take a piss, dude, just tell us. Thank
Just tell
you.
us. Bathroom's right there. You've got water. Obviously, once you drink it, you're going to have to take a piss. So there's the bathroom. Like Rosie knows the drill. He's like, I drank water today and I
Yeah.
peed. And that's
Feel free to breathe the air in the room.
yeah. The air around you is for all of us. Feel free to use it. The earth is beneath us.
The earth is beneath us. Man. Oh God, we're never gonna finish.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
You guys are
Correct. Water,
the
restroom.
worst and
Yeah,
also
check,
the
check.
best. Okay, we know where the restroom is. Okay.
All right. Go ahead and tell us your full name.
My name is Trooper X
And where do you work?
with the Indiana State Police.
How many years have you been employed with the state police?
37. Holy shit.
Jeez. Dang. And in what capacity are you currently employed?
My current rank is a master trooper / detective. My day-to-day assignment is as a field intelligence officer.
What's that mean?
It means that I am responsible for gathering, cultivating, and signing up new informants, confidential human sources. I also am a liaison officer that works with individual and smaller agencies that may not have the technical capabilities that our department has. So I help them in their interface with the Fusion Center to be able to give them some more technical expertise and get them in touch with some experts in an individual field in order to hopefully use technology or other connections to advance their cases.
Okay. So let's start with the first one, just so I understand this. When you say informants, are you mostly talking about things involving the drug trade?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so you work with informants of all types.
Yes, sir.
Give me some other examples just so I have some context.
Patriot groups that might be outside the realm of legal activities, biker gangs, things like that. There has to be a
I don't know why I started reading that. That was weird. Go ahead. I don't even know why I did that. It just started happening.
There has to be a criminal nexus of some type before we can gather intelligence on an individual or group. But we don't just stick to drug enforcement would be the traditional thought.
Okay. So then the second bucket that you referenced, Rosie likes buckets, so to speak, was that you basically deal with technology to the extent that you're trying to marry what's going on in the investigations with people in your offices that are handling computers and things of that nature so that these things are efficient and done right?
That's a good way to put it, yes, especially with smaller departments who don't always have those types of experiences or assets.
Okay. So just tell me, if you could, maybe this is a broad question, but in terms of the hierarchy of your circumstances, the hierarchy of command in the state police, where are you in that whole?
Just as a master trooper.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any specific areas of expertise other than working with informants and handling our kind of dealing with this technical side that we just talked about?
My specialties for years, I was the lead instructor at the Law Enforcement Academy for Indiana State Police recruits on the defensive tactics or the hand-to-hand techniques.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Do you engage in any, I'll say, annual or routine training with regard to anything else other than those three things?
Absolutely.
Like what? What kind of the high points?
We have a yearly refresher that deals with both current case law, changes in the law that may have happened, new statutes that have come out. Indiana statute requires us to have 24 hours of training for law enforcement. Typically on a given year, I'll have anywhere from 36 to 48 hours in everything from search and seizure to, again, the new laws that have come up.
Okay, so it's just kind of basic police training that everybody gets.
Yes.
Refresher courses.
Yes, sir.
All right. What did you do to prepare for this deposition?
I looked through my emails to see what I had emailed other department members with. I talked to Detective Roland Purdy and Detective Holman.
And with respect, we'll take these one at a time. With respect to the emails, you don't have any documents with you today. What did you find?
I found it back in, I believe it was February of 22 was my last email to Roland. My email doesn't go back any further than that I could research, but it was an email that I had sent to him and asked him a question back and forth about this case.
Okay, so let's just, for the sake of discussion today, let's just assume I haven't seen any materials generated by you. So I might ask you a few questions about that, okay?
Yes, sir.
Is that an email that's pretty to dig up and get to Mr. McClelland so that he can get it to me?
It certainly would be.
Is that the only email that you found with regard to your involvement in this particular case? Is the one?
I think there's one follow-up email, but it's on the same string.
Okay, so basically you found essentially two emails or one email in two parts, and that's the entirety of the emails that you would have generated in this investigation.
Those are all that I could find. I don't recall any prior to that.
Okay. And the only person that you communicated with email regarding this investigation was Officer Purdy?
I believe so. That's the only one that I have record of. I don't believe I ever communicated with Detective Holman by email, sir.
Okay. And you also said you spoke with Officer Purdy. When did you speak with Officer Purdy?
I've spoken with him several times.
Well, regarding this deposition.
Yesterday.
And
I'm sorry, not yesterday. It would have been Monday.
what was the nature of that conversation?
We simply asked about, or I asked him about what kind of things were discussed. He filled me in kind of the type of questions that you'd asked, which are very similar to what you're asking me right now.
Okay, did you call him or did he call you?
I called him. There was no answer. He called me back.
Do you guys communicate routinely?
Not routinely because we're so far apart geographically in the state, but occasionally we meet in different details. An example would be 2 weeks ago, we both worked the state fair together.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you apparently knew that he was being deposed in this case,
Yes,
and that's why you reached out to him?
that's correct.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how that happened, how the nexus occurred of you knew that he was coming today.
Bro, I feel like I say it like this.
You got a
Like,
pretty mouth.
yeah, like I try so hard
You
not
sure
to.
do got a pretty mouth. Hi, everybody that popped in that I haven't had a chance to say hi to individually. Thank you guys for being here.
Where am I?
So I asked you something weird about that you knew that he was coming today, but he didn't. He was
Read 12 again, and then tell them what your Venmo is, because people want to know.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how that happened, how the nexus occurred of you knew that he was coming today, but he says he talked to him on Monday and he told him what questions were asked. You know what I mean? Like, so isn't that weird? Like, why does
He says you knew that he was coming today. Maybe he meant you knew today that he was coming. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, but he already talked to him on Monday and asked him what was asked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, maybe.
Oh, they
like,
said
how
keep reading. It's there.
Okay, of course it is. Let me grab this real quick though. Maybe if I can do it quickly, which is not something I'm good at. Okay, this should not be that complicated.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
What the hell did you just do?
Oh, fuck. Just dropped my phone twice. Can't you just write your Venmo name? Jesus.
I don't know what it's something to do with criminality, but I don't know if it's got numbers and shit. So I just keep it in the link tree.
Yeah, I don't know it either. Sorry, people.
That's what I said. But I'll drop it. I'll drop it in here. I'll drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Okay, so it's in. All of them are in the link tree. Every link you could possibly want for me, I think, is in there. And thank you. I don't know who's asking.
Someone get the Venmo and tell me what it is, please. All right.
Somebody get the Venmo and tell Sleuthy what it is. I don't know. It could just be criminality. It could be criminality 187. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. So, okay. So you said I did. Okay. So you knew that he was here last week.
Hold on. I'm going to go grab this fucking Linktree link. I'm tired of this. I'm sick of it. Murderino. What? Is it really?
Murderino. I've missed you two. I've been consumed by life in Idaho 4. You two are hilarious. Well,
Oh, I
so,
thought that's what she was saying what the friggin' Venmo was. I
no,
was like,
no.
why would your
Criminality
Venmo be
no,
that?
no, Murderino is a person.
All right.
What's up, Mary?
And of course,
Yeah.
I'm not logged into my Venmo here, so like it won't let me know.
Marv posted it. Venmo. It's criminality 187.
Okay.
That's why I said
Thank
some
you.
of them are just criminality. Some have the numbers. I don't know. It is what it is.
Thanks, people.
What's up, Dizzy?
All right. So, I knew that he came on Monday.
Okay.
And again, that's because we were at the state fair together.
Okay. All right. And so did you guys talk about anything involving the Sons of Odin or any of the stuff about Odin?
Very briefly, yes.
What did you talk about?
He said that he was asked about Odinism and a little bit about the figure that was drawn on the tree.
All right. And you said that you also spoke with Trooper Holman, or I should say,
well, detective or
Detective Holman. You're all troopers in a way to me. Sorry.
briefly. He was the one that notified me that I had a deposition
Okay. When did you talk to him? You can estimate.
a week or so ago
What was the nature of that conversation?
to tell me that I had a deposition.
Did you talk about anything else?
Very briefly about the case. He said he thought it would probably be about the Odinism aspect of it, but he had no further information on it.
Interesting. Did you ask him any questions about what aspect of that or anything like that?
He indicated he didn't know, so no, we didn't pursue that, sir.
Did he talk to you about any of the testimony or the statements or questions that were asked of him during his deposition?
He did not. I don't know if he had his deposition yet, sir.
Any other information that you reviewed in preparation for the deposition today? Give me 1 second.
Is it Fehu? Somebody tell me. Fehu. I think it's Fehu. Why am I imagining that's the way that it's said?
Fehu. Could you spell that for me just so we all know what we're...
No, wait, I didn't even say. I looked up the Fehu rune on Google.
Could you spell that for me just so we all know what we're...
Fehu.
Why would he be looking that up? He would
That's
already
what
know.
he said. Why did you look that?
Why did you look that up?
Because that was the figure that I recalled being left on the tree. That was really my only involvement in the case, was that it had shown up and there were questions about what it might mean.
Ew. Okay.
If it was in fact a Fehu rune.
Yeah. You said you looked it up on Google. Were you refreshing your recollection of that, or?
Yes, I was refreshing my recollection, as well as the fact that runes are very much like the word two. They're, depending on how it's used and where it's looked up, there may be different.
Multiple meanings for one word?
Correct, sir.
What in your mind does Fehu mean? I guess you brought it up. I'm going to ask.
Fehu quite literally means cattle or livestock. It's very often interpreted as wealth or mobile wealth. I've seen it referred to as that, or for good luck, hoping for some financial gain.
Okay. Have you spoken with Sheriff Liggett regarding this investigation in the recent past?
Never.
Okay. What about former Sheriff Lesenby?
I don't even know the gentleman. No, I haven't.
Any other troopers? Winters, Murphy, anybody of those?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Any other materials that you reviewed other than the Google search that you mentioned?
No, sir.
Okay, why is he saying he didn't talk to Murphy? Did you generate any reports or other documentation, similar documentation in the course of your involvement in this case?
No, sir.
I haven't seen any. That's why I'm asking.
No, sir.
Okay, when was it that you got involved in this investigation? The crimes occurred in February of 17, just to give you kind of.
It would have been several months after that. It was pre-COVID, so we were down at the offices quite a bit, and I heard that there was possibly a Viking symbol or a Viking rune left on a tree. I had done some research on those regarding an earlier event that we had gathered some intelligence on, so I had some working knowledge of those, so I reached out. Roland, I happened to know, was on the task force that was investigating, so I reached out to him and asked him about that. That was my first involvement. So,
So a few months after the crime, this is me now. A few months after the crime, they believed that there was some type of Viking symbol or Viking rune on that tree.
mhm,
That's what law enforcement believed.
mhm.
But then it's like, as soon as the defense wants anybody to act like that's possible, they laugh at the defense team and act like what fucking idiots they are. Like, obviously that's not it. It's just a handprint.
Yeah, we knew this.
So you actually got word through kind of coffee shop talk, more or less, my phrase, and then you actually received back out, or you reached out to some of the investigators in this case.
That's correct, sir.
They didn't seek you out.
They did not.
What was, I'm going to ask you generally, this earlier event that you referenced, did it have anything to do at all to do with this case?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I can describe it to you.
Yeah, would you just describe it to me? Okay.
There was a group called the American Guard that was kind of led by a gentleman named Brian James. Brian has a long history he was associated with the skinheads, he was associated with the Vinlanders, and then he formed the American Guard, all of which are extremely white supremacist based. Brian actually had a criminal history on some violence towards a colored gentleman in Indianapolis. I believe he did some jail time for that. That group, the American Guard, had been publicized on social media that they were going to be security for a Second Amendment rally in Indianapolis. Well, it seemed a bit odd to us, and it was going to be on the grounds of the State House. So we took a little notice of that. They had publicized on an open source social media where they were going to be meeting prior to the event and that they were going to be marching to the State House. I showed up down there early to just march with the group, and there were several hundred people not associated with Brian's group, but several hundred people total. The people who associated themselves with Brian James that day showed up with, most of them were carrying guns. Brian wasn't, because I believe he's a convicted felon, but most of them showed up with some type of weaponry, whether it be firearms, open display of knives, but several of them had wooden or metal shields. I mean, big, like Captain America type shields. And when you looked at them, they were actually sheet metal screws protruding from the inside going out. So these shields were actually weapons.
Holy shit. Okay. So
Well, hmm?
this is the infamous Johnny Messer goes up to Indianapolis with them, right?
Yeah. Well, many of the shields, some were made of wood as well, and those concealed a baton inside them that could have been used as an impact of weapon if wanted. Well, many of these shields had runes on them, and I don't know what they meant. So I started looking into and did a little research to try to figure out what some of those meant and what their purposes were. So that was kind of my first impression, no, introduction into deciphering, if you will, what these kind of meant or what they might have meant.
What was the timing of this? Do you generally know?
This would have been probably 16, 17-ish, so it goes back a while.
Okay, so like, is this dude practicing Norse paganist, or is he
You
a
already know the answer to this, bro.
Do you know what time of year it was? Was it cold out? Was it warm out? Do you remember?
I would say towards the fall.
Okay.
So that was my first introduction to those. We also see them in some tattoos on some biker gangs, things like that. But
You're talking about, you mentioned shields with batons. Are you talking about like Braveheart kind of stuff? Like kind of more,
They were smaller.
uh-huh,
They were basically
kind of medieval feel to it? I mean, that's what I'm envisioning.
very much so. They were maybe 3 feet by 2.5 feet with plumbing type handles. And like I said, they were quite substantial. They would have taken a heavy blow.
Okay. So then when Trooper or Officer Purdy, the two of you communicated initially, what happened after that in terms of your involvement?
He and I met so he could accurately show me what the figure on the tree looked like, and it reminded me of the rune Fehu. And so I looked that up and we spoke about that, and he wanted to know how that would have maybe tied into a crime scene. I didn't know. I still don't know how it ties in, but because traditionally that's a rune of luck and wealth. So I don't know how it would have been construed to be in a crime scene.
So you talked to him on the phone, or did you actually meet with him in person?
We did both. We we met on the phone. I'm sorry, we spoke on the phone, but it's hard to do a representation on a phone. And Roland and I are friends. We just met for breakfast.
Okay, like just the two of you?
Actually, it was another gentleman with me who happened to be on my day off that day.
Who happened to be what?
There was another gentleman with me that day.
Oh, like a friend or something.
Yes,
Okay. Who was that?
Brian Jenkins.
Brian Jenkins. I thought you were going to say Brian James. You were going to kind of throw me off there for a minute.
No, although we've spoken many times, I wouldn't consider us good buddies.
Good buddies, but buddies maybe? Where did you guys meet?
A Cracker Barrel. Forgive me, I don't recall the location. I drove further than he did.
So then did you do or meet with any other law enforcement officials in the course of this investigation?
Mr. Holman, Detective Holman.
Tell me when that meeting occurred if you could estimate.
That would have probably been 18 or 19. It was pre-COVID and it was very, very brief. We met on the north side of Indianapolis.
What was the purpose of that meeting?
I delivered something to him. When we were still downtown, we had a big printer that our section would occasionally print something off from, and he had it. He was on the north side of Indianapolis. I said, I'll drive it out to him, so I delivered that to him.
Do you remember what you delivered to him?
It was rolled up. I don't know, sir.
Okay, so there was just some material that you guys had processed down at your office
Someone had, yes. I didn't do that.
in a tube or something,
It was rolled up. I don't remember it being in a tube.
and you have no idea what it was.
I don't.
So it's just a rendezvous for a handoff of a tube or whatever?
It was.
Did you guys talk about this case at all?
Yes, briefly.
Okay, what did you talk about?
He showed me a drawing of, or a representation of, where the sticks were laid over the girls' bodies when they were found, and asked if I saw anything regarding any runes or anything in there. I didn't. At least not of the runes that I know. Now, when we speak of runes, though, there are several different categories of them. They don't all look the same.
We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but that's okay. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you entirely. Just go ahead.
You're not, but I didn't recognize anything in the sticks and again, it was a stick drawing of sticks.
It was a stick drawing of sticks?
Correct.
Do you have that drawing, or is this something he showed you?
He showed me. I do not have a copy of it.
So basically, forgive me for being a little bit more detailed, but that's why we're here. So somebody took a piece of paper and just drew with their own free hand some lines,
Yes, sir.
and you knew that it was representing sticks.
Yes, sir.
And so what else occurred during that conversation?
That was the extent of the conversation.
Okay. Where did this take place?
It was on the north side of Indianapolis. He was in town for some training, but I was already downtown and leaving. That's why I just volunteered to drive it up for him.
So basically, he just handed you a piece of paper with some lines on it, and you looked at that and said, doesn't mean much to me.
He told me what it was, but I looked at it. Yes.
Okay.
I didn't see anything.
Okay. So my understanding from speaking with other law enforcement officials in this case is that you are a follower of Sons of Odin, or you subscribe to Odinism. I'm being a little bit insensitive here about,
As a religion?
well, or as a spiritual belief.
No,
That's not true?
that isn't true.
Okay, that's one of the reasons why you got in here, because we had kind of heard that, or,
No, that isn't true.
okay.
But I do have some knowledge of it simply because I started again looking at it through the runes and things like that. And I did find it interesting.
Okay, but you don't have any personal connection to this movement or belief system,
No,
whatever phrase I use.
no, sir.
Cult, some people would call it that. You don't have any personal connection to that.
I do not.
Okay. Okay, well, we got that cleared up. Did you ever meet with anybody in this case? The phrase unified command has been kicked around a lot in this room in the last couple of weeks. The group of leaders in this investigation, did you ever meet with any of them regarding any of this?
No, sir, I did not.
And you never met with any suspects? I'm going to ask these questions just because I'm trying to make sure I rule everything out.
Sure.
You never met with anybody or did any further investigation because they said, hey, go out and talk to this person or that person?
No, sir.
Did you ever speak with anybody from Purdue University regarding runes or any of this other stuff?
No, sir.
Did you, when you were speaking with Trooper Purdy or Trooper Holman for that matter, did either one of them show you any photos from the crime scene?
Yes.
Let me hand you what's been previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit I. Would you just take a look at that? We're going to have to, the distance of this table. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, sir, I do.
Is that a photograph you've seen previously?
I have seen this one, yes.
Is that the one that Purdy offered up to you?
I believe it is, sir. It appears to be very similar to what I remember.
Okay, and is that the photograph that you suggested is similar to the runes that you were looking up on Google?
It is, sir.
Okay, just to make sure we're all on the same page. What is it about that photograph that caught your attention?
It could easily be mistaken for an F, but the fact that both of the horizontal bars point up are very indicative of the rune Fehu, which is often thought to represent cattle.
And so in your mind, when you saw that, the angle of the two horizontal bars was kind of what caught your attention.
That's correct, sir.
Was that something that jumped out pretty quick with spending a lot of time with this?
It was.
Okay. And so in the context of, you can sit it down if you want, that's fine. Just leave it there. Make sure everybody has access to it. So in the context of your looking at this, did you draw the conclusion that appears to be something that was deliberately placed on the tree rather than some random mark?
It appears to have been done accurately to make either an F or that Fehu rune. It doesn't appear particularly random, like somebody's wiped something off.
Interesting. You mentioned earlier that these runes can have different meanings, and you use the word two as an example. Let's talk about that. Did you find information online that supported that idea, or is that just a conclusion that you drew?
May I ask you a question for clarification?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not positive what you're asking.
I need to ask a better question, I think is what you're saying. Earlier, you mentioned that this system of runes can have different meanings. They may mean one thing to one person, I guess.
Correct.
And another thing to another person, right?
Yes, sir.
What led you to that conclusion?
To a large degree, just a Google search. Several different websites that you go to. There used to be a really good one that I could not find. I don't know if it's since gone under, but that would discuss a lot of the different meanings. But very much like a diagnosis, sometimes people just can't agree on. So depending on which website you're on, you're going to get a little bit of variance. Most of them will agree with the cattle or mobile wealth, but a few of them will say, oh, well, in New Age, whatever, it might mean this, or it could be a gateway to that. It depends on how far you want to run down the rabbit hole and which interpretation you choose to believe.
Okay, so did you discover during the course of your studies, I'm going to use that word loosely, with regard to this Odinism, that there's kind of a legitimate side of the spiritual belief, and then there's kind of I'll call it kind of a good and evil side. There's a good side and there's kind of an evil side.
I would say very much so, yes.
And is it fair to, so there's people running around in society basically that believe in this, or that exercise or subscribe to the system of beliefs that are normal, law-abiding humans, right?
I would believe so, yes.
Are you confident that there's also people running around in this society that subscribe to this system of beliefs that are frankly evil or bad people? Brian James and his followers.
How did it go? The clear eyes there for dry eyes, try clear eyes. Is that what he said?
Yes,
For dry red eyes, try clear eyes. Okay. Uh
Why do people say this guy's an Odinist? I know, right? Well, he's like, I saw that Brian James and his people were going to be walking, so I just went and walked with him. Like, okay.
without making a moral based judgment, there are some that believe in this system of, again, philosophy or whatever you want to call it, that have tendencies that are outside the norm. Again, most of those revolve around the white supremacy movement. Definitely some very strong feelings by them.
People that subscribe to violence.
People that I would say would probably be quick to violence.
Okay. Other than this circumstance with Brian James, I don't want to make him the center of attention today, but other than that, have you done any other investigations, maybe even after that, regarding this Odinism cult or group?
We've seen some of the runes and things like that show up in some of the prisons, and I've been asked a couple of times about what that might mean by various tattoos or something on a letter, but as far as investigation, no.
So what's your opinion on that, about the stuff being present in some of the prisons and what that might mean? Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry. Let me withdraw the question.
By the prisoners or
Somebody showed you a photo or something
correct,
of a prisoner who had,
and asked me what this might represent.
okay. Okay. So these types of things are present, or there's some commonality with the prison systems.
It is, and I don't know if you want to call it Asatru or Odinism. That seems to be one of the growing religions in some of the prisons.
Amongst inmates we're talking about, right?
That's correct.
Okay. I want to make sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't specify, but yes.
Not something that the staff members would be involved with.
That's on the staff members. I can't speak to that.
Okay. Well, what we're talking about is bad people that are locked up in prison who affiliate with these groups, probably for their own personal safety and other reasons, right?
Whatever reason, but yes, they are affiliating with it.
All right. Let me show you what's been previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit I, and I just asked you to take a look at that and tell me if you've ever seen that photograph.
I have never seen this photograph before, sir.
And McClellan pops in and is like, hold on. Hold up. We have two defendant eyes? Rosie says, did I say I?
You said I. This looks like T.
Rosie says, oh, that's the one. Is it T? Sorry, it's T. McClellan says, I understand that, but you said I. Is this I or is it T?
Oh, come off it, you fuckwad. It's
Rosie
obviously
says,
T.
I love this. Rosie's like, well, you looked at it. You can see it says T. You could have just corrected me.
Yeah, exactly, you little fucker.
McClellan's like, I had no idea. Like, what is this? Like, I love Rosie though. He's like, you looked at it, you fucking idiot.
You saw it's a T. You could have just corrected me. You didn't have to act like, oh my God, stop everything. Is there two defendants' eyes?
There's two eyes? What? He's like, I had no idea. I had no idea. I didn't know. I just wondered. I was just asking. Rosie, okay. Do we agree that that's a T and that I made a mistake?
It appears to be a T to me.
Okay. You've never seen that photo.
I have not, sir.
Well, let me represent to you as an officer of the court, so to speak, that is a photo of one of the girls that was found dead in this case. Do you have any reason to disbelieve that?
I do not, sir.
Okay, so directing your attention to...
May I get my glasses out?
Oh, yeah, sure. You probably should get your glasses out. Baldwin's like, you keep yours in that. I lose about 10 pairs a month.
I try not to. All right, sir. Your question?
Rosie, so let me direct your attention to, the body of the young woman there, and specifically the left side. Do you see all these sticks that are located there?
I do.
All right. And nobody's ever showed you this before.
I have not seen this picture before.
Do you agree with me that those sticks appeared to have been placed there intentionally just from kind of first glance at that photo?
It would appear so.
I mean, do you agree that they didn't likely fall off a tree that way?
I would say that's very unlikely.
Okay. And do those sticks in any way mimic or look familiar in terms of the formation or the stick drawing that Officer Holman gave you when he met with you?
Sir, I don't remember what it looked like
Okay.
accurately. To be able to answer that, I'm sorry.
Well, as you sit here today, is there anything about the formation of those sticks that might prompt or be related to any of the odonistic information that you've gathered?
May I have just a moment to study this?
Yeah, sure.
May I ask you a question?
You sure can.
Has this been cut or is that a break?
Well, I think there's some consensus that it was cut at some point.
Okay. I don't see anything that's indicative of anything that I know that would connect this to the runes or to the Odinistic religions, but it does appear, in answer to your earlier question, it looks like they were placed there intentionally.
Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Sharon, what do I want to mark a new exhibit with? How do you want me to do that?
You can start with numbers.
Like defendants number 1?
Yeah, they've been letters so far.
Okay, so defendants exhibit 1 was marked for identification. So Rosie says, all right, Anthony, let me hand you what I've marked as defendants number 1. I'm going to represent to you that I just got online and started looking up Odonism and runes and all that other stuff, and this is one of the drawings I generated. Does that look like the type of things that you would have found online when you were doing your research? Lots of pages like this with different...
Yes and no.
Okay, tell me why and tell me why not.
These are what I would believe to be bind runes, where they combine more than one for a specific purpose.
What did you call them?
Bind, B-I-N-D. They will bind one rune to another. In other words, let's say Thehu, for example, would be construed as mobile wealth. Well, they might want that in a business enterprise. So they might have another rune that would represent their business. They would combine those over the top of each other or in some way to bind those together.
Okay.
So that's what these look like more than the standard runes.
Okay, so maybe a little bit more sophisticated set of runes?
I would say that these probably would be, because these are for a specific reason.
But they still look like runes to you, right?
Bro, I've always said they were bind runes on those girls.
Yep.
They
100%.
are.
And he agrees.
Mhm.
I guess I would just establish that.
I would say that, but may I give an example?
Yeah, sure. Which one are you pointing to?
The one that says safe travels.
Sure, yeah.
If you take off this stick there, I recognize that as one that is, please forgive me, I don't remember the name of it, but it signifies traveling.
So if you took off the stick it on the left part, the left side of it, it looks like an R, right?
Correct. That has something to do with safe traveling. I remember that. But again, we've combined it with something else.
May I see your exhibit?
Yes, sir.
I'm circling this exhibit on the right side there, near the second one from the bottom, and it says strength. Do you see that?
I do.
That to me looks fairly similar to the stick formation on that body. Would you agree that there are some similarities?
I can see that there is some similarity, yes.
And so I understand that's just one of these. You called them binded runes?
Bind runes. I would say that's what these are. These are different than the standard set of runes that I normally see when I look them up.
Okay. It's also been brought to my attention during this case that there might be some association. Let me mark this as defendants number 2. but some association with triangles in the odinistic belief system. Do those look familiar to you, like those triangles?
Yes, sir, they do.
Did you also discover the same information that suggests that these triangles, these triple triangles that are interconnected, were part of the odinistic type?
I've seen these in tattoos or on amulets. I'm not sure what they mean.
Okay, you said ambulance?
Amulet, like a necklace.
Not actually heard that word before.
It's been a good day then on a necklace, pendant, or whatever.
Okay.
I've seen this shape associated with some of the runes and stuff before, but again, I'm not sure what the actual meaning of this is.
Okay, but you've seen those things together, the rune type formations and these triangles.
Yeah, I have, sir.
You generally agree with me, they appear to be associated.
I would say there's some association there,
Okay.
but I'm not sure what it would be.
It just happens that Defendant's Exhibit 1 has 3 of those triangles on it. I actually wasn't paying a lot of attention to that. But do you agree with me that there's similar formation at the bottom of Defendant's 1?
Yes, it says Volknot.
Do you, or have you discovered in the course of your research, I'm going to say, that horns are also a part of this belief system?
By horns.
Like Viking horns, or,
Like the drinking or blowing horns?
well, any kind of horns, frankly. I'm not talking about car horns. We're talking about like horns on an animal, or, depictions of Vikings, things of that nature.
I remember at the event where Brian James and his friends were at, there were some people that they appeared to be cow horns stuffed in a holder on their belt. Not all of them, but a few of them. It looked like they had been used for drinking cups or something like that.
Okay, so did you discover any other association between horns and this Odinism during your research or your experience with this?
I did not, but I've never looked for it.
Okay, did you at any time communicate with the chief of police of Beverly Shores?
No, sir.
That doesn't sound familiar.
Not at all. Is that an Indiana town?
Presumably, yes. I haven't looked it up on the map, but one of the detectives was working up there as well that was on this case.
No, I have not, sir.
Did anybody ever share with you any kind of slideshows or any other kind of organized information regarding Odinism
No, sir.
as part of this investigation?
No, sir.
Okay, give me a few minutes here. I'm gonna mark this as Defendant's Exhibit number 3. Okay, so earlier we were talking about, I think I used the phrase good and evil. Let me hand you what's been marked as 3. Again, I just did this on my internet searches. It's not any high-end FBI stuff here. Would you agree with me that that 3 represents the kind of runes we've been talking about today in one form or the other?
I would agree that I'm familiar with the top 3 rows. I'm not familiar at all with any of those on the bottom.
The bottom row? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen the top rows before in various forms, but I haven't seen these before.
You mean as you sit here today, you can distinguish between the ones you've seen and the ones you haven't in the past?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
And again, each of these may be drawn a little bit differently, but these are normally divided by 3, and this is the first line, second line, and third line. Again, I have no idea what that fourth line might be.
Well, when I was doing this search and my own research, frankly, obviously the things that jumped out at me other than the runes themselves were the comments here. Do you see all these comments?
I do.
And they're clearly associated with, like, whoever made this clearly is in some ways communicating about supremacist groups, right?
It would appear so, sir.
So this is consistent with with, I guess, what I would call the evil side of this Odinism that you talked about earlier, right?
It would be consistent with one side of it, yes.
Okay. And so it's not surprising to you that I found this online because you're familiar with this kind of stuff exists out there, right?
Absolutely, sir.
In other words, I'm not piecing 2 things together that
You are not.
creatively here.
No.
Okay. All right. Let me hand you what's been marked as Exhibit J. Just take a look at that. We've tossed that around over the last couple of weeks. I'll tell you what it is in a minute, but just take a look at it, all right? So if I represented to you, or I am representing to you, that the side-by-side images, the left image is an image that was taken off of Brad Holder's website or Facebook page, who's a suspect in this case, or was. Do you have any reason to disbelieve that?
No, sir. The name Holder actually appears on the picture.
Yeah, I saw. So then, okay, thank you. So then on the right, the image on the right is kind of the maybe not so clear image of what was otherwise I. Do you generally agree those are one and the same, just different lighting? And I got to take a break just a second. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta help my little with something real quick. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Every time I think about this, like when they brought up the horns, I immediately went back to thinking about the disgusting beard hairs in the horns, and like this freak's like chest hairs, and dip a little half a toe in there, and spin it around, or maybe half a thumb. Disgusting. Oh, it's Friday. I have no couth today. Let me put on my slippers. Oh yeah, Carrie, were you here when we read that? I forget. It must have been a deposition. Oh, who was it that was like they would pass around this horn, and they would all share it, and they'd all drink out of the same one, and it had beard hairs floating around in it. Oh, I could have threw up. Oh, I still feel it makes me feel a little nauseous. Some ibuprofen. Was it Brad? No way that Brad, with his disgusting ass beard hair, would be the one to say that he saw beard hair in there. Messer's girlfriend. Yeah, I think it was Messer's. Taylor. Maybe it was her. Where's those dips that ran around Delphi saying this Odin stuff was all made up? Read this, punks. Nicole, every time I see thanks, I hate it. For whatever reason, I think of Courtney. Or Yellow.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Ew, as kids drink out of it today. Did she say that? I believe that. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Why wouldn't that Trooper X know about the 3 triangles? It's a symbol associated with Odin's magic. That Odin stuff isn't made up. Don't know. Not sure.
So pause. I think that what I got in my Venmo was probably from you. So I just want to say thank you. And
I didn't Venmo you.
no, you're not pause.
Oh, I thought you were telling us to pause.
No, pause. I said I think
Pause
that's
and
from pause.
laws.
Yeah. So I think it's from you, and I just want to say thank you. And that was a tough time. So I'm glad that I was there for you too.
Aw. We won't be mad that we don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
It's okay. You don't need to.
Okay. So, oh, I said they appear to be. So you're on 8.
Okay. All right. So as you look at those, just with your background knowledge that you have, do you see similarities between those side by sides?
I see an upright stave and 2 horizontals coming out. I mean,
so there's 3 lines on each one, and they're all in a similar position, right?
Correct.
So there's some similarities in that resect.
That's correct.
I understand you don't have any context for where that photo, when it was taken, where it came from, and all that.
None, sir.
Sure. Oh, I can say it? Okay. Pause lost their daddy when listening to and was listening when we were talking about losing our daddies. And so I didn't want to go too far into it because
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah. So that's what the comment was.
Well, we love you, and it fucking sucks, man.
Yes.
So carry on.
Pip pip. Let's go.
Well, Carrie Sherry said T would not say pause. She'd say, all right, stop, collaborate, and listen.
I just know it.
I just know it. You are not wrong. You are so not wrong. Oh shit. Okay. But just at first glance, is it obvious that those two things seem similar?
There are some similarities, yes.
Okay. So let me hand you what's been marked as K and L. Take a look at those two images if you would, and let me know when you've looked at them.
I've looked at them.
Have you ever seen those before?
No, sir.
Okay. They're obviously just paintings or something, or some type of, artistic creation of a body hanging upside down. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if I just told you that those were pulled from the same suspect's website or Facebook page, I'm sounding like an old man. We referenced on the side-by-side earlier. Would you have any reason to disbelieve that?
I would not. It even says Brad up here at the top.
Okay. So which exhibit are you pointing to?
Okay.
All right. So in looking at those, I'm more interested in the mark at the bottom center. Do you see that mark there in the red mark that exists?
I do.
And I know it's a little difficult to see, but would you agree with me that that also is very similar to the mark that's on the tree in Exhibit I? Similar formation.
I would not.
You disagree with that?
I do.
Okay, tell me why.
You still have the same central stave, but on this one they point up. On this one they point down, which a difference in this would be a different rune. I'd have to look it up, but it starts with A.
Okay.
But it's not the same representation. If we're looking at strictly rune formations, that is not the same as that.
Okay, fair. Let's start with that. So do you agree with me that it appears to be a rune formation?
It very well could be, yes.
And then if I hand you defendant's exhibit number 2, which we looked at earlier, again, these are just things I pulled off the internet. Would you agree with me that there are other, what I'm going to loosely refer to as F formations, letter F formations that are similar to the one in exhibit L?
Yes.
So may not be the exact same one on the tree, but it appears to be a formation that's recognized in this particular odonistic alphabet or whatever we want to call it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let me get back to this Brian James thing because I'm kind of interested.
Yes, sir.
Is there any geographic area in the state where any of these people that you dealt with, the Brian James web, are located?
I can only go off of what I knew when I was looking into them, and I believe that some of that has changed over the years. The American Guard was the group that we were looking into that actually had officers in several states and different groups, but again, they were centered here in Indiana. Brian lived in Danville, Indiana. Since we looked into him back then, he's gone through a divorce. I don't know if he still lives there. They pretty well erased all of their open source social media, so we don't have easy access to look to see where they might be now. I don't know if the out-of-state chapters are still even up and running.
Anywhere else in the state that you're familiar with that pockets of these groups might exist?
I don't know the answer to your question. Usually when they had gatherings or events, they were always at Brian's house. So I don't know where else they might have been throughout the state, sir.
Did you know them to be involved with any kind of ritualistic activities when they did have gatherings or events?
I don't know what they were doing. I know at one point they were having a barbecue for many people that attended the Second Amendment rally. I did not attend.
Well, I gotta pause really quick. Not
Good, because I have to go pee.
okay. Katie K, what's up? Where's my Tammy Lee cardigan already? I should go. I gotta get it out for the winter, don't I? I don't know. I don't ever talk Watts anymore, so I don't wear it. I should talk. I really gotta bring it back. For anybody who doesn't know, I used to cover the Chris Watts case, and Tammy Lee was the investigator who did Chris Watts's polygraph, and she had on this gray and white striped cardigan that I loved, and so I went and found it and ordered it and got it, and so I used to wear it when I would cover the Watts case. Oh man, that shit's funny. You always bring that back up. I'm gonna find you one, Katie. I'm gonna find you one. I'll send you mine. That's fucking funny. I think it's in my other closet. I'll have to go look.
I'm thinking since Tobe gets disguise, that we might move disguise day to Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Because like I have to work Monday and like we start like right after I get finished work and I want to be prepared.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. Schmeed remembers the Tammy Lee cardigan. Huh, Schmeeda. Yeah, the striped one. I love this. We'll just start dishing. We'll just all be like different people from like different cases, and we'll just start talking shit. We can make up. We can have dance in our cardigans. Disguise day. It's Tobe Lesenby. So we were gonna do. So today is Trooper X. Tomorrow is Purdy. Sunday was going to be Winters, and Monday was going to be Lesenby. So I think she wants to switch Winters and Lesenby. So we'll probably do Lesenby Sunday, and then Winters Monday. So yeah, she's got a disguise for us for Tobe. She wants to be prepared. Let's see, Schmied, I knew you'd remember. No, you're good for interrupting. She had to go pee anyway, so it was perfect timing. Yes, you can absolutely. You have a Taylor Swift cardigan. You can absolutely come to the party.
Let me switch loads.
Okay. That's what he said. Sleuthy's been droning on for so long, I didn't recognize her actual voice. We'll just be like, it's cardigan day. You have to come dressed as somebody from somebody that we would all recognize. Ooh, Dizzy, a Freddy Krueger cardigan. You can totally play. Collusions and cardigans, fishy. It is really a good Trooper X impression. She's doing well. I'm glad I don't have one today. It can really wreck your throat. That's what he said. I shall wear my fancy socks and a cardigan. Yeah, she can't do a mouth breather again. Way late, but hey. Hi, All Eyes. Yeah, she did that mouth breather and she was sick for like a week. Who was that?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Who was that? Who was the mouth breather?
It was either Ned Smith or the other one.
Rod Abrams?
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Maybe it was Rod. And then that's obviously my go-to voice for Onion.
We'll have to be like complicit in cardigans with a capital T. Yeah, I think it was Ned. Yeah, then she was like sick for a week.
Both times. I got sick after I did Onion. And then I got sick after I did him. So that's why I'm pretty sure it's whatever. It's like that nasally voice. I don't know why. It makes me sick afterwards.
Because you're breathing in all the germs.
I guess.
Man, I missed that video and now it's gone. What video? What video's gone? Okay.
Oh, did she strike us for that one?
No. I got struck on 2 and I took down 4. And that was reading Holman. Holman So, I don't know. It was like 3 interviews from Murder Sheet and the one from HTC.
So
The Onion
like,
video where she was the oh, maybe that is it.
mhm.
Oh, okay, yeah, it is that one. I have it, Carrie Sherry. I have it. I have it downloaded. So if you if you ever want to listen to it, you just let me know. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, it was a
It was a
transcript of
transcript
him.
for Murder Sheet. You're right. That's what it was. It was one of the transcripts from Murder Sheet. So
Mm.
it has to be one of those. It was like a Cecil or a Holman or one of those. You're right. It is gone. Okay, now I know exactly what we're talking about. Yes. So they did. They struck 2 of them. I had done 3, so I took down all 3, and then I just took down HTC's because I knew she was going to be coming for me the same way.
Yeah, because they also struck my Google Drive
Yeah.
of the transcript.
I'll put those. I'll put them in a Google Drive. I'll put them in a Google Drive and post them. I don't have it, but I can send it to you if you know what I'm saying.
On the DL.
Yeah. We ended up not doing any more of their interviews because I was just like, I just don't have the patience to deal with those idiots. Okay, I'll put them in a Google Drive for you, Carrie. I have all 3 of those. Okay, where am I at?
I'm not
Did,
sure.
did you know them to be involved with any kind of ritualistic activities when they did have gatherings or events? Okay, we already said this. Okay, all right. You don't know anything else in terms of ritualistic activities.
No. We've driven past there when Brian's had gatherings, but there's a fence around the backyard. I have no idea what was going on behind there.
I had another question and it escaped my mind. Just give me just a minute.
May I revisit something?
Sure.
You asked about horns earlier.
Yes.
At one point, there were pictures on open source social media of Brian James and several of the people at the event drinking from a horn, but I'm not sure what significance that has.
In your independent research, did you ever find any connection between Odinism and horns?
Not that I know of, but again, I've never researched that aspect of it, sir, although now I'm curious.
Okay, I'm going to take a break for a second.
Sure.
There's still another question lingering, but I'm going to talk to Andy and maybe that'll help me. So they take a recess. Okay, we're back on the record. Just a few more things here. So let me hand you what's been marked as C. This is another Defendant's Exhibit C or Deposition Exhibit C. It's another photograph that's been circulating in this case. Does that look familiar at all?
No, sir.
Okay, and if I told you that that's one of the crime scene photos of one of the girls, do you have any reason to disbelieve that? Just kind of a close-up.
I do not, sir.
So just directing your attention, obviously, to kind of the top part of her hair there, above her hair, do you see those sticks or whatever you want to call them that are kind of protruding from her head, like 2 of them?
These?
Yeah, one of them is kind of moving from right to left in a more horizontal position. The other one is a little more vertical coming from the left side.
Yes, sir.
In looking at those, this isn't a test, but in looking at those, would you generally agree that at least one of those appears to have been placed there?
Yes, sir.
Specifically, the one that's moving from the left or from the right to the left?
I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, that one.
This one appears to be, since it looks like it's on top of the hair, yes, sir.
We've all kind of caught on to this, but I want to make sure that you...
Yeah.
So would you agree with me generally that it appears that it either landed there or was placed there, or it ended up there at some point after she was there?
Correct.
Do those 2 sticks, if you will, appear to be in the formation or loose formulation of horns to you of any kind?
I can't speak to that. I don't know. You mean like devil type horns?
Yeah, or antlers, anything like that?
Sir, I couldn't speak to that.
Okay, let me hand you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit D. Let me just purport to you that that's a piece of artwork that was pulled offline as it relates to this Odinistic culture. Would you have any reason to disbelieve that?
I would not, sir.
Okay, and so you see there's some horns on the photograph.
I do.
I mean, I understand the photos I showed you previously aren't deer horns, but you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Are you seeing some similarities between those two circumstances?
I can see where you can draw that conclusion, but again, I can't speak with any authority as to whether they're representative or not, sir.
So it's conceivable that somebody could draw that conclusion.
Yes.
Let me hand you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit F, and just take a look at that, and I'll fill you in on what that is.
Okay, sir.
Is that, if I told you that was an image that was taken from Brad Holder's Facebook page at some point around the time of this crime, would you have any reason to generally disbelieve that? I understand you didn't take it.
No, I believe what you're telling me is true.
Okay, and do you see in that particular photograph, is there anything that kind of jumps out to you immediately about that photograph as it pertains to this circumstance that we're here on today? Give me 1 second, the doctor's calling me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's only 4:47 there. I was like, why the fuck is the doctor calling so late? Oh dear. Do I got any ranch? How? Oh, yes, of course I do. I knew better than that.
Yeah.
Hold
Sorry.
on. Grab the ranch. Okay. It does. It feels so fucking late, man. I can't stand it.
I heard you're like, wait a minute, why is there a doctor calling?
Well, first of all, it is 7:47, so like it is late. But it's been dark outside for like 4 hours already. Like it's already been dark for a very long time. All right. So I'm on 10. I said the thing that strikes me most is that the leg is stuck up through the tree and the other one is trapped under it.
Okay, so kind of the formation of the body, if you will, or the position of the legs.
A bit, yes.
Okay, does the fact that the tree is on top, the tree is a part of the photo, does that seem unusual or odd to you in any way?
Not having been at the scene, I can't say for sure, but I would say it would not be what I would expect to find simply because of the position of the body and the tree.
Okay, let me hand you what's previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit J. Just take a look at that, and if I just purported to you that one of those side-by-sides is a photo from the crime scene, one of the girls, and the other one is obviously a portion taken from that exhibit that I just handed you with the tree and the body, does that look consistent?
Yes. Please explain that again.
Okay. So I'm just purporting to you that I'm trying to look at my letters because these are far away, but Defendant's Exhibit J
J and F.
contains a side-by-side, agreed?
Yes.
And that the image on the right is really just a slightly different, the color is a little different, but it's the same image as F.
Correct.
Would you generally agree with that?
Yes, sir.
It's just cut and pasted, basically.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm confused on this. Okay, and then I'm telling you that on J, the left image is the image of one of the bodies that was found in this case.
Okay, sir.
What are we comparing this to?
The thing on Brad Holder's Facebook.
The painting or?
No, the picture of the dead people under the tree.
That's what we're looking at. Okay, that makes more sense. Dumb. Okay. Do you have any reason to disbelieve that?
I do not.
If you look at those two side by side, are there any striking similarities that you see between the two?
Left arm outstretched and bent slightly, and trees put on what appears to be after, post-mortem. So that they're looking at Libby.
Okay, so at the very least, just in terms of body position, the upper portion of the bodies are similar, right? The way they're positioned.
Especially on the left arm, yes, sir.
And then with regard to the sticks on one and the tree on the other, there's just some general similarities because there's logs and sticks laying on these people, right?
True, yes.
Okay, so now that you've looked at this, if you were part of this investigation, hypothetically, would that raise some concerns with you, knowing that one of the suspects had this on his webpage, on his Facebook page?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Now let's start to put that in context with all those other exhibits that we've looked at, right?
Okay.
Exhibits of the tree, exhibit of the runes, exhibits involving the artwork, exhibits involving the horns, kind of piecing all those things together. Are these the types of things that would have caused you some real concern if you would have been involved in this investigation?
Can you rephrase causing me concern?
Yeah, does the totality of all of these things concern you that there needs to be some further investigation if you were involved in this?
I believe so, yes, sir.
So any of these things individually don't mean a lot, right? But when you start putting them together, the totality of them means quite a bit more, does it not?
As it usually does in any investigation, yes, sir.
And that's what normal police.
And again, I'm not a homicide investigator, but they would give me pause for concern to pursue these avenues.
You also have common sense, right?
Yep.
And don't need to be a homicide investigator to draw any conclusions about the similarities here, do you?
No, sir.
All right, I don't have any further questions, but Mr. Baldwin does. Almost as if there's a nexus. Okay, I want to add to that totality. I'm Andy Baldwin for the record. Baldwin said, what number are we on? Rosie
We're
says,
talking numbers now. We've already put these in.
Baldwin, no, you didn't do that one.
Well, I thought we did previously. Yeah, we did. H. You know what? I think we also have that other one. So let me look here real quick.
Okay, so I'm
Oh, I
gonna
was
hand
waiting
you.
for our first redacted page. It took a while.
I'm gonna hand you what's been marked in a previous deposition as H, but also 4 in this new one, and we don't get to know what about it. We have 1 page of redactions.
It's very similar, yes, sir.
And so now we had that layer, add that layer to the Brad Holder interest in Brad Holder. Would you be interested, you do undercover work, it sounds like. Do you ever infiltrate these hate groups? It sounds like at least on that march, you kind of.
We will on an as-needed basis.
Typically it's, what the fuck is
Why
wrong
do
with
you
me?
keep doing that?
I don't know why I keep doing that.
Typically, it's directed at one person within the group, but yes, we do sometimes.
If you were, I'm just going to ask this. If you were thinking after we've given you this and we haven't given you everything, but if we gave you just that much, would you say, hey, maybe we should infiltrate Brad Holder's pagan Odin group and see if we can get him to talk? Would that be a thought of something to do, or is that too dangerous?
Without knowing more about Holder and his group, I can't answer the danger part of that.
Okay.
I think that looking at these 2 images, though, it's definitely worth exploring.
So I've talked to Brian James too, and he was friends with Holder and Patrick Westfall. Is redacted. And then it's still me, I guess. Don't know. I'm just curious.
I'm not sure that it adds to it. I mean, I don't know of any way that Brian James is implicated in this. I will say that obviously they do share some commonalities in their belief systems.
And I don't think Brian had anything to do with it either. I'm going to hand you what's previously marked as S. That is Patrick Westfall, who is Brian Holder's friend. And there's reports that they had a falling out over something that happened in a forest by a river because of a problem with a ritual that went bad.
Huh. Okay.
Patrick Westfall and he. There's evidence of that in police reports or in reports that we've been provided in discovery. So that's who Patrick Westfall, he and Holder were together. And then because of something happened in a ritual, they're no longer together. But at that time, they were together. You saw the Abbey rune.
There's another reason I say it's not why they're redacting.
You were really astute to notice that it had been cut off, or it looks like it had been cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, seeing that Patrick Westfall there is cutting what looked to be, I think it's a tree branch into runes, and Holder's commenting on that. Is that another layer that would cause you to be curious enough to, we need to look into this Brad Holder person?
I think it would cause me to want to look at Westfall.
Patrick Westfall?
I would look into him. What he's doing here isn't particularly heinous. What they do is they'll cut wafers off, and then they'll carve the rune in them and make a set of 18 or 24 or 16, whatever they want. But I think it bears investigation probably into both of them, at least to look at. re-question, especially since they've had a falling out, perhaps re-interview.
Sure. And when you said both of them, you're referring to Patrick Westfall and Brad Holder.
That's correct.
Would it be appropriate if there was enough evidence out there to support a search warrant? Would that be a wise thing to do, to go to a judge because there's missing clothing that might be from the scene that might have been redacted page? And it's still me again. Likely, potentially a Hegel rune,
Could be, yes.
which is hail. One of the meanings of it is hail. Was the rune you were talking about earlier that you said something that starts with an A? Was it by chance an Ansus?
Stand by.
Okay, stand by.
A-N-S-U-Z, Ansuz.
Right, Ansuz is what I have, but there might be other spellings. Earlier, you had said about an Ansus rune.
Right, that's the one that appears on the artwork.
Okay.
At the bottom of the tree, it appears to be this rune more than the Fehu rune.
Okay.
Because of the way the staves point down as opposed to up.
Was that the one you were trying to remember?
Yes, I knew it started with an A. I didn't remember the name of it.
Okay, only a few more questions. Have you ever heard of a guy named Johnny Messer in terms when you're dealing with these?
No, sir.
Elvis Fields, have you heard that name before?
I heard someone mention Elvis, but I have no idea who Elvis or Elvis Fields is or his relation to this.
Rod Abrams, have you heard that name before?
No, sir.
Did you ever tell Purdy that you practiced Odinism?
I haven't practiced it, but I know a lot about it.
Okay. Did you ever tell, I think you answered this already, did you ever tell Purdy or anyone else that something to the effect that they're good, perhaps good Odinites and bad Odinites?
Probably.
I'm sorry that I'm standing. It's what I do in court. I'm not trying to lord over you. I'm sitting all the time here. Did you ever present any of your to a larger group of people hey, I'm familiar to some degree with this Odin stuff. I'm going to kind of do a little presentation so you guys kind of know generally what it is?
No, sir. Nobody ever asked.
Do you know who Trooper Kevin Murphy?
No, people, they must be so just entranced in our wonderful acting that nobody's chatting. No one has. You are not blocked.
You're definitely not blocked. Never, Kel. Never. Although I have not seen Oh For Fuck's Sake since Mother of Dragons hit her yesterday.
I haven't either. Unless they changed their name and came
Oh,
back.
yeah. I have no
or
idea.
they're on their burner and they forgot to switch back. Am I on 3?
Yes.
Okay. I know who he is from. He came through recruit school.
Oh, okay.
I've never worked with him, no.
I think I could be wrong, but I think in his deposition, he thought that you had put on a little talk about Odin and he was there when it happened.
Then he's mistaken.
Okay.
I've never done anything like that, sir.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that if there's anybody in the state police ranks throughout the state that knows about Odinism in terms of, let me rephrase that. Is there anybody that you know of in the state police ranks that knows more about Odinism than you do?
Not that I'm aware of, sir.
Okay, this guy at the beginning of this was Googling things. He doesn't obviously know a ton, or he does, and he was lying at the beginning. So could it be said that you're kind of the go-to Odin guy in the state police?
Oh, my God. Hold on. I don't know that I would phrase it that way. When we were downtown pre-COVID, anytime there were runes specifically that were brought up in a case or needed to be identified, from a tattoo or something, usually they brought it to my desk and asked my opinion of it.
Why? Okay. I mean, I got to tell you that being on Brad Holder's webpage, whatever that number is, I have it as F, that disturbs me. Does that disturb you?
Several of the pictures you've showed me this morning are disturbing, but yes, that one is.
Okay, that's all I have. And then Rosie comes back. And what's up, Eve? Did you ever hang out with this cast of characters anywhere else other than at the State House? I don't know that I asked you that. You said you didn't go to the barbecue.
I've been to a couple of events where Brian James and his people, his followers, were there, but they've all been at large public gatherings like the Second Amendment rally at the State House. I don't recall any off-site or any other venues that I had any interaction with him. It used to be easy to keep track of them. They were on social media constantly.
Do you think that there's a reason why they're not?
I have no idea, sir.
I mean, were they drawing too much attention at one point? Is that the impression you got?
No idea. They were there one day, they were gone the next. And it wasn't just Brian, it was across the board.
Do you know about what time frame this occurred?
Probably 2020, maybe a little before, but they used to have videos up of them boxing in the park and all kinds of things, and all that's gone.
But you're not able to source or figure out what the reason why they pulled themselves?
No, sir.
Okay, I don't have anything further. You want to review and sign, and then here comes McClellan. Hold on. I have a few questions.
I feel like everyone in the room rolls their eyes when he runs his mouth. Like
They're just
they were having this perfectly fine deposition, and now he's cutting in again.
And then Rosie's like, okay, well, McClellan's like, well, what? And Rosie says,
Motherfucker, you just said, hold on.
Rosie says, we're just in a little bit of a trend where you haven't had questions.
Mm-hmm. Well, he can't let this be said. We can't have him saying all this shit and not say nothing.
Trooper X.
Yeah. Trooper X.
Have you done any formal training on Odinism besides the Google searches that you've done?
Nick, name one fucking class that does formal training on Odinism.
That's so fucking stupid.
No, sir.
So true, Chelsea. Have you talked to any BAU units, behavioral analysis units, about Odinism and the signs that are surrounded with Odinism?
Have you? I have not.
So my understanding is the extent that you have in your knowledge of runes and Odinism is just through stuff you've done on the internet, whether it's Google or searches in other, I guess, like search databases on the internet.
The audacity of this.
I know.
Your expert gets on the stand and testifies because he Googled it. Are you for real right now?
I know.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You greasy slime ball motherfucker.
Okay.
Coke dealing.
To say that some of the people that we went through, they've asked if you know Trooper Murphy. You know of him. You just know of him because you went to the academy with him.
I probably taught his class at the academy.
Taught his class. Okay.
But as far as I don't know him.
But you haven't stayed in touch with him after that.
I have not.
So safe to say that you haven't stayed in touch with the majority of people that have went through the ISP Academy.
What does this have to do with anything? If I don't work with them on a regular basis, no, I haven't.
How many do you work with on a regular basis?
20 or less.
And do you know how many ISP officers are there throughout the state?
I believe between probably around 1,200.
And so if other ISP officers are experts in Odinism or runes, you may not know that.
That's very true.
And so to say you're the foremost expert or the foremost ISP officer who deals with Odinism and runes is probably not a fair assessment.
Probably not.
And all these pictures that the defense has shown you today, they've told you what these pictures are. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've never seen, with the exception of maybe one, which is commonly referred to as the F tree, you've never seen these pictures before?
I have not, sir. What does this have to do with anything?
Well, he just needs to be able to make it so that other people know more than he does. So they can't, like, the defense can't count on Trooper X. Okay, I don't have any other questions. Rosie says, well, I do have a couple. Give me 1 second. Rosie says, so you told me today that part of your background knowledge is things you found on the internet, right?
Yes, sir.
But you also told me that you're hanging out with these people, right? At these rallies?
I have, yes.
I mean, you've been in their airspace.
Yes, sir.
And so you've been able to marry or kind of associate the things that you've learned online with activities that are going on with these people, right? Similarities between them.
Oh, he shuts this shit down. Yes, sir.
So this isn't just all about internet research. This is about you going out and corroborating some of the things that you learned online by engaging with these people.
It would actually have been the other way. I engaged with these people and noticed their symbols and tattoos and things like that, and then did more of the research on it, sir.
Okay. Well, Mr. McClelland asked you about other people in the state police that might be experts in this particular line or this particular subject matter. Do you recall that question or questions?
I do.
Are you aware of anybody else?
I am not.
As you sit here today and you work, forgive me, but I kind of loosely see your office as kind of like the hub for all things underground in the state police. Is that kind of a fair assessment?
I'm not sure I would use those same words to describe it, but yeah, it's close.
So there's a lot of clandestine stuff going on that comes out of your unit, right?
We have classified and unclassified information.
Hate crimes, white supremacist groups, extremist groups. That's all part of your gig, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
Which is all of what we're talking about today.
Most of it, yes.
So you're in the know, so to speak, when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I've had some experience, sir.
How long have you been down working in this particular office?
Since 2013, late 2013.
Well, I don't have anything else. Review? Are you finished?
No, not yet.
Mr. McClelland said, no, not yet. So Mr. Rosie implies that you've been to different events and hung out with these people. I thought your testimony was that you only went to one event that was down in Indianapolis, perhaps at the Capitol House.
We've been down there on more than one occasion to interact with Brian James.
You specifically?
Me, yes. There was only one where they provided security at, and that was the first one.
So how many times have you been down where you interacted with Brian James? Was it just James or several people?
I've spoken to him directly in a covert capacity, but most of the time it was with a lot of other people around.
How many times do you think you did that?
3 that I can recall, sir.
Okay, if I misheard, correct me, but you never went to any of these events at his house or anything like that.
I did not, sir.
You never went to, besides the 3 you talked about, you never went to any other Odinism events?
Okay, so are we acknowledging there are Odinism events?
Yeah, yeah,
I did.
there is.
I did.
There's definitely
He's
Odinism
such a-
events, according to McClelland.
He's a fucking idiot. I did not, sir.
I don't have any other questions. Rosie says, well, I do. One just popped up. How much time do you think you spent looking at internet activity for these people? Just give me an estimate.
75 hours.
I don't have anything further. You finished? McClelland says, yes. Rosie says, do you want to review and sign to make sure that she typed this up accurately, or do you trust that she's going to do that and you can waive signature? Either one.
What would you suggest, sir?
McClelland says it's really up to you. If you want to verify that everything is correct in what she has typed, then it would be good for you to look at it and sign it. It's kind of up to you again.
I would like to verify it.
McClelland says, I think that's a good idea.
So Nick at one point says that there is like no Odinism. There is no Odinism events. There is none of that stuff. They're just a bunch of friends. Just, I don't even know. And then in the next breath, he's acknowledging that they're actual things.
So weird. All right, so what an asshole. I know Nick is an asshole. I love that Rosie's like, well, and Nick's all, well, what? Well, what? It's like, you haven't asked anybody else any fucking questions, but this guy, for whatever reason, you want to try to knock him down a peg. Why? What is it about this guy? You don't have him under your control. He's saying whatever you don't want him to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a Liggett or a Holman. Guaranteed this guy didn't get promoted.
All right. Purdy's deposition is 100. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's every bit of 149 pages.
Okay.
And Winters is 60, but let me see if it's a full 60. So it's shorter than the one we just did.
But we want to do that on Monday anyway.
Yeah, it is 54 pages.
Woman, so we meet again.
And then Tobes is 100 and I would say 118. I sure hope my disguise stays on for 118 pages. I'll have to like not move.
Okay, so Purdy tomorrow, Lesenby Sunday, Winters Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrie Brooke had a question. Do you have any info on this? I'm new to the Delphi shenanigans. Does anyone have any info on cases that Nikki handled as a public defender?
Not really.
Yeah, not really.
Just like don't care about him. He's a freak. So
Well, he also was a JAG attorney. So some of that stuff we might not get access to anyway, but
yeah, he didn't like actually fight or anything.
all right. So I think we're done for tonight then. Unless
2
you have
hours
anything.
ain't bad, and I was like 30 minutes late.
Mandy Boo says, I would love to do a deep dive on who McLuhan has represented. Yeah, Nick was a public defender and a JAG attorney. Nick was in the military, yes. I know, it's very confusing, right? It's very confusing with these stupid names.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Kate O says that Nick represented Cody Patty.
Oh, that doesn't seem like a what is the word I'm looking for? Conflict of interest at all. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We really kind of looked at his history in terms of if he'd ever prosecuted a murder trial. And that was like I am woman, hear me roar. All right. So on that note, then it works because then I can go make dinner, which will make my family happy. And so do you want to do weekend time, same time, or do you want to do earlier? Tomorrow I can't do earlier. But Sunday I could probably do earlier if you wanted to.
Yeah, we can do Sunday earlier.
It's up to you. We could talk about it before then. So tomorrow, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Mountain, 3 o'clock Pacific. And if you're across the pond, you got to figure out your own time. I can't do all that math. So, all right. As always, we thank you guys for hanging out here with us. We know that you have 1,000 other places that you can spend your time, and you choose to spend your time here with us. So go enjoy the rest of your Friday, and we will see you mañana.
Love you. Bye.